what has been the major highlight of your career so far? Like, give me like two of them, the major highlights that has been life altering. Because the reason I say that everybody has something, but you got to ask them I call it the domino thing. Like, what part
Right.
of that experience has really changed you and you grew from it?
Right. Man, I mean, just believing in myself, and that's the thing. It's like we all have this powerful thing about believing in ourselves. But my biggest thing
Mhm.
is working with my idol, Danny Glover.
You didn't tell me that off camera. Dan, you
Well, it
keep
was
it
a brief
you
conversation,
keep
man.
it too many secrets, man.
I'm telling you, man, shoot, we got 5 more hours, shoot, let's
Yeah,
talk.
Danny Glover, man, what was
But,
that like?
you know, and it didn't look like how I wanted it to look like, because he's actually the reason why I'm an artist, because like I said, uh, A Raisin in the Sun was the first play that I had really undertook. And he was in A Raisin in the Sun on television that I had seen.
Right.
And so I was like, man, I want to do that. But when I saw The Color Purple and him in The Color Purple, I was like, this is what I want to do. And acting was the first one, but then it was like, okay, filmmaking. Now, I didn't know my introduction to him would be directing him and working with him in a documentary. I didn't know that. But when I started getting involved with the Roby Theater Company, I was like, I think I'm the one to make a film or a video piece about this company. I, it didn't hit me that I would be sitting here with him saying, you're like, well, why did you become an actor? Like you're interviewing me right now, like I'm interviewing him. Like I had to, keep pinching myself and try not to keep saying lines from films that he had been in over and over again to, make it awkward. But that shifted my understanding of why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's not just to make my dreams come true, which were happening, but it was to be like these great men in my mind.
Right.
They had impact on the world. Your dreams can come true.
What was the one thing that he said to you that really resonate? Because I mean, you're interviewing him. He had to say one thing that you go, wow, I still remember that to this day.
Yeah, yeah. I had two things come to my mind is one, you can do it. I mean, it's the simplest line you could ever hear, but to hear Danny Glover sit in front of you and say, man, oh yeah, 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 you can do it, man. That was just like, okay,
Yeah,
I
all
can do it.
wheels.
I can do
Yeah,
it.
fill up the gas tank. I'm about ready to go.
I'm just vroom vroom.
That's cool.
And then what he quoted Paul Robeson when he said, artists are the gatekeepers of truth,
I believe that.
and that right there,
Yeah, I believe that.
it's insane. It's insane.
You mentioned, I'm thinking I'm heard you right. You mentioned Harry Belafonte.
Hmm.
Okay, take me down that road. Don't you?
Man,
I'm paying attention to everything you're saying because you got a lot more secrets you ain't telling. We got to do a part
really?
two to this. What
Oh,
was that? What,
I
what
got the
was
book.
that?
The book is coming. Harry, man, he was super gracious, super gracious. I was working behind the scenes for the honorary Oscars, and
Right.
this was back in the day. And I'm getting a teleprompter ready, and it's his words that he needs to say. I'm not thinking I'm going to meet him. I'm just here doing my job.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it was like the door opened and you could just see smoke and lights coming through the door. And I'm like, I'm getting blinded. And it really was the light because it was bright outside. But then you could hear people saying, like, oh, he's here, he's here. And I'm like, okay, I need to do my job. And I'm looking down, I was like, oh, snap, that is Harry Belafonte. And
Hmm.
so I start stumbling over the words. And it's actually a really funny thing because in the moment it was terrifying, but
Yeah.
in retrospect it was hilarious because I'm there, I'm reading the teleprompter out loud. Then all of a sudden I read like a Japanese word, and all of a sudden I can't speak English anymore.
Right.
And the people in the pit, the music people, they're just like looking at me, and I'm like, oh man, I couldn't even say the.
Yeah.
And then my contacts started like throbbing in my eye, and I thought it was gonna pop out. And I finally gathered myself because I'm like, okay, you literally look like a fool right now, but it's already happened, so just finish your job. So I finished. Then I walked down and I said, well, I got to meet Harry. Walked over to him, shook his hand. He greeted me. And he said, that was you reading my lines up there? So now I'm really embarrassed. because now I know he saw me. I said, yeah, that was me. He's like, oh man, good job. So I said, okay, he's a good guy. He lied to my face. All right. But he was super great. And then he was like, what did he say to me? He said, man, they got a good person to play me.
Really?
I said, here, you didn't have to say that, but I appreciate you. Thank you.
Wow.
And he stayed in contact with me, got his contact information, and
Really?
just kept that, friendly conversation going. And
That's
that really means everything to me. So rest in peace and power.